Hey everyone, it's Mand and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Hi. As you can see by the title that this is a VR to the hashtag end of year tarot tag by Spirited Stardust 11. I hope I got the name right there. And I seen Tarot Magpie do it, and I know there's a few more that I have in my to watch list that have done it that I'm like mad to see, but I knew I wanted to jump on the bandwagon with this tarot tag. I'm hoping it won't take me too long so that you're not like watching me dive deep into everything and chatting too much. I do want to apologize in that sense. I'm a little bit croaky because I'm not feeling well the day of filming this. I mean, it's only like 2 days before Christmas Eve, so, and of course I'm filming on my old stand. I just didn't have the patience nor the patience really, to be honest, to set up my other one, so I'm just going with the easy option. So if my camera is a little shaky, I do apologize about that. We'll try and steady it a small bit. But yeah, this is the end of year tarot tag. I do have Oracle as well, so I did cheat a little, because as most of you know, I am an oracle, not an oracle girly. So without further ado, if you haven't already, do hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you part of the channel. If you love tarot and oracle related stuff, books, spiritual and witchy elements thrown into the mix, then this is the channel for you. So go grab a snack, go grab a drink, and we'll get into the video. Also, do hit the bell so you'll be notified when I upload, and don't forget to hit the like button if you like this video, and let's get into the tag. So the first prompt is the deck you use the most. Now, I know the deck I use the most is probably the Green Witch Tarot, but I know everybody's probably sick of looking at it. So I went with my second most used one, and that's the Tarot of the Witch's Garden by Sasha Graham, and the artwork is by Natasha. I'm not going to butcher her last name, but there you go. I love this deck. I know there's a few decks that I actually used the most. I'm pretty sure the Pastoral Tarot is another one that I use quite a lot, and there's a few that I use quite often that were in rotation, but this is probably, once I got this, I definitely worked with it for a very long time before I was like, okay, I need to rotate this, so my other decks get a little bit of attention. But this is gorgeous. If you kind of like the Green Witch Tarot but you don't really love it all that much, I feel like this is a great alternative to that. I feel like it has enough, you know, people, animals, kind of that fantasy element. It is a bit more hinging on cartoon more, so I feel like the Green Witch Tarot is a bit more real, as in it's not like this. You could totally relate to A Court of Thorns and Roses, you know, so in that sense I feel like it's a little bit more fantasy based, just the way the artwork is done. But I mean, I don't hate it, I love it. It is definitely one of my most used tarot decks this year, and I can see it being definitely another one that will be most used next year. So the second prompt is a deck you didn't use at all. I must take a sip of coffee. My throat is so scratchy. I'm like so annoyed. Like right before Christmas. Anyway, a deck I didn't use at all was the Tarot of the Divine by Yoshi Yoshitana. I watched so many walkthroughs of this deck before I went off and bought it, right? And I loved the cardstock, by the way. I love the cardstock on this. I don't like the box in particular, the way it folds out, because it just doesn't. Anyway, the backs are divine. It is a beautiful deck all around. I just did not, under any circumstances, lean towards it. I love this linen cardstock. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. But no, I didn't use this at all. I'm really sad, because now that I'm looking at the artwork, I'm like, it's so stunning. It's so, so pretty. Try and steady this. So yeah, this is a deck I didn't use at all, which is really, really sad, because this is stunning. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a beautiful reader. I mean, cardstock is lovely. The deck is lovely. It's just beautiful. And then the storybook that goes with it as well. Gorgeous. So if you really want to dive deep into this, you can. But yeah. So that is Tarot the Divine, and it's the one that I didn't really work with. Third prompt is most recent edition. So I don't know if it was the tarot or oracle, but I feel like my most recent deck that came in is Seasons of the Witch, the Imbolc Oracle. That is my most recent edition. I do have a walkthrough. It's still in order. I literally did my walkthrough and I put the deck away and was like, yeah, I'll play with that over Christmas. Look at that blue. I can't cope with the gilding on this, on these decks. I just can't. They're gorgeous. I'm going to keep this in order because I do want to work with it. But this is my most recent edition. I cannot wait to work with it. There's another deck that I'm kind of wanting to be, that's just recently come out, that I want to add to my collection. And I have a friend over on Instagram who is always sending me new decks that she's gotten, and I'm like, oh, I really want to get new decks, but I'm like, no, Christmas is coming up, you gotta behave. So, you know, my birthday's in February, so, you know, I probably should start buying in January, to be honest. But yeah, that is the Imbolc Oracle. This is my most recent newest addition to the Tarot and Oracle family that I have collection going on. So the fourth prompt is a deck you let go of, and I didn't let go of any decks. I never really get rid of them. I just always mindful of the decks that come into my collection in the hopes that I will work with it. But I'm definitely going to have a look at next year and see, are there decks maybe that I can find new homes for, and maybe other people can love them. So we're going to go on to the fifth prompt, which is favorite pairing. This one was difficult because I had quite a few pairings that I really enjoyed, but I went with Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle, which is this one. I'm hoping you guys can see. And I'll move my mug out of the way. And the Tower of the Witch's Garden. Oh my goodness me. I'm going to just do it this way so we can all see. Okay, well, this one wants to flip over, so we're going to do it that way. Like, can you even, first of all, can you even see it? Like, these are beautiful. I loved this pairing. I absolutely adore the Mabon Oracle. It's like one of my favorites. If I had just turned these the other way, hold on one second, if I just do it this way. Da, da, da. Now these aren't shuffled, so obviously, but still you can see how, even though the artwork is like completely different to each other, still not mad. Still love it. Looking at this pairing now, I really want to work with them. That's the one thing with these videos, isn't it? It's like, oh, I want to do this. Like, I want to work with this pairing, and oh, I want to work with that deck, and oh, I want to work with this deck. Like this, when this one came into my collection, again, like the Tower of the Witch's Garden, like it stayed for the longest of times. Like, I was not budging from it. I did not want to budge from it. Oh. Okay, we'll do one more and I better get on to next prompt. Prompt number 7 is the deck you want to receive as a gift. And I don't know how to insert pictures here, so I will try and insert a picture here, but I think most of you probably know it. I think it's called the Dark Moon Child Tarot. I would love that deck. It's an indie deck by Danielle Noel. It is so expensive though, for me, for indie decks especially. As you know, I like to use my decks, so when they're indie, I don't tend to use them as much because I'm always like, oh, but if I had to replace it, so, you know, it's kind of a silly mindset, hence why I stay more with mass market, because at least if it gets battered, it's okay, it's easy to get. But yeah, I think the Dark Moon, Moonchild Tarot, the Dark Moonchild Tarot would be on my list, or any of Danielle Noel's decks. To be honest, I don't have any of her indie decks, and I would love them. That or the Baba Studio Bohemian Gothic, but like the price on that is just astronomical. I could never justify it, just never justify it. So we're going to move on to prompt 8, which is a deck you would gift others. And I knew instantly when I seen this one what one I would pick, and that would be the Solitary Witch Oracle by Lucy Cavendish. I know it's not a tarot, and I make no apologies. You guys, the amount of people that loved this deck on my Instagram, honestly, I had to like remind myself I have other decks that I can use. I've shown this several times. It's just a deck that seems to draw people in. I don't know what it is about it. I find myself being drawn into it. I love it. Again, it's one of these decks that I would happily move into. This pairs beautifully as well with the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. I love oracles that just pair well. They're kind of all round, but it obviously has that witchy element. So I feel like if you have any witchy decks, then this is the one. This will pair so nicely. It is a little bit on the bigger side, card wise, because it's a chunky Blue Angel one. So that card stock, you know, that really sturdy card stock that you know is going to last a lifetime. Yeah, this. If I was to gift somebody a deck, it would be this one. I know you have to work a little bit with it, but see, can you tell I like love this deck? She's getting battered, but we love her. Yes, I do personify my decks. They all have different like energies and personalities, and I make no apologies for that. But yeah, and I feel like this one fits into the next prompt, but let's show a different deck for that one. Prompt number 9 is a deck you fell in love with. Now, there's loads of decks that I fell in love with, like, let's be honest. There's so many decks that came into my collection. I definitely want to give an honourable mention to this is MJ Cullinan's The Enchanted for Hoxa Tarot. I definitely fell in love with that. I haven't worked with him massively, so I'm looking forward to that in the new year. It's definitely top of my list. But it's the Pastoral Tarot. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm after getting like super congested. I love this deck so much. Oh my gosh, when this came in, I was like, I can't put this down. The guidebook, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I feel like I sound very nasally, so I apologize about that. Love it. Absolutely love. And the cards, of course, the cards. Look at them backs. Oh, it's so dreamy. I love it. I love just the artwork. I love the way that it's landscape. I love the art. I said that already. Oh my gosh, my brain. Apologies. If you're watching this going, oh, come on, man, get to the point. I don't have a point here. I just love this deck. There's no real reason. It's beautiful. It's so chocked full with symbolism and emotion and the energy and the intuitive ability that you could read with this. Even if you didn't want to use the guidebook, I would highly recommend it. But it's so not necessary. It's just difficult to show. I'm trying to hold it with one hand. Okay, here we go. I love it. If you like that kind of country way of living, I live in the country, so I love this. I love nature and being surrounded by nature and the sounds of the birds. And I love donkeys. If you don't know, donkeys are just one of my favorite animals. I love animals in general, but I love donkeys. They're just so sweet. And then just, yeah. Yes, this deck fell in love with, and it will be a well-loved one next year too. Number 10 is which card sums up 2023? Hello. And I had to think about it, and I was like, do you know what? This felt like such a tower year for me personally. Not that there's anything wrong with the tower. I think it's actually a fantastic card. It's probably one of my favorite taboo cards that are the scary cards in the deck. Solely for the reason being is it's really just the breakdown of a system that is not working. And I definitely felt there was a lot of breakdowns this year. There were a lot of systems within my own personal life that really came crumbling down. But why? Because I needed to build better foundations. I needed to find a different system that worked. I needed to really dive further and deeper into my own practice, things in my own personal life, really get a different perspective that I wasn't getting with where I was at. And so while yes, this year was very challenging, there was a lot of breakthroughs and breakdowns and plowing through as well. It definitely was a tower year, but I have no regrets because, sorry, my freaking stand is annoying me the way it's wobbling around. I can't complain because this year has been fantastic. I got engaged. I mean, honestly, I will use any excuse to show off my ring. There has been so many things that have happened this year that have been pivotal while it's still being a tower year. And I think that's the most important thing, to realize that while yes, the tower can mean destruction and breakdown, and don't forget with breakdowns there's breakthroughs. So, that's pretty much the card that I would choose. I'm not going to go through my decks to try and find a tower card. Just go look it up. So pull a card, in the last prompt, pull a card for 2024. And I said, well, I was thinking, instead of just pulling it for myself, because that's very personal to me, isn't it? Let's do one for everyone watching here. And we have two. Oh, what's my new thing for next year? Getting a proper stand that isn't complicated. I use the Healing Waters Oracle. So we have the Sacred Well and King Tide. So replenishment, self-care, giving from a place of plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life. Oh, I love this. I love this for next year. Definitely, I feel next year is going to be far more fulfilling for a lot of us. It's definitely going to be the year where we take looking after ourselves more serious, that we dive more into practice, we're expanding knowledge, really ready to receive, like it says, what life has to offer us. But also when we're receiving, we also have to give. So, it's not just about taking, it's also about giving. So I feel like next year is a lot about give and take, compromises, but not to the point where it's detrimental to yourself, but it's more coming from a place of love more so than ego. Like, where does it benefit me? Whereas I feel for a lot of us really, it's from, I'm doing it because I love you and I care for you, and so yeah, I really do feel that this, it's going to be the year of plenty and prosperity. And please don't let the news and things like that get you down. While it's important to stay informed, it's also important to mind our mental health as well. So my lovelies, that is the end of my video reaction, I should say. Thank you so much to Spirited Stardust for making this tag. It was so fun to do. I'm actually just really happy, really content, and hopefully I'll have another video before the end of December. But if not, if I don't, I hope you all have had a wonderful Christmas by the time you've watched this, or Yule, whatever you celebrate. I am wishing you so much prosperity and abundance moving into 2024, and I can't wait to dive further into this channel and grow and expand our community and just get to know you all more. And I'm just excited. I'm definitely going to do a sit down chit chat video. If you guys would be interested in that, please let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much to everyone that I've connected with this year. I'm beyond grateful. And before I start becoming an emotional mess, I'm going to send you so much love. Thank you so much for watching if you've watched to the end, and I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world, and I will chat to you all real soon. Bye guys.